Okay, well here we are. It's been a couple of days. I made this on, let's see, it was technically a Tuesday and it is now Thursday. So here we go. I have popped all of the tape so it's easier for me to get this done. And we're just going to slide this out. Very good. And this color is really beautiful. It's just the palest of green. Maybe you could go a bit a tannish gray if you wanted, but it does have a green hue to it. And it's a tallow soap, so it's harder sooner than my regular batches, but it'll still be easy to cut. Everything looks really good. Okay. I don't see anything that causes me any alarm. So I'm going to get out my splitter. Alright, so this is my splitter from Smith Creek Studio. Not available. I get tired of having to say that, but I feel like it's important every time to say it in case you are curious. I wish they'd just make them because they're awesome. So this is the mold that I just sliced the tiniest bit off. And let's see, that feels like a lot on this end, but not too much on the other. Alright, here's hoping I did this right. I've been having some issues as of late with my splitting, and so I really don't enjoy those awkward ones. Oh, look at this. That one was really thin, like a noodle. Okay, and then I cut my loaves at 2.5 inches. Smells amazing, as expected. Everything looks great, super smooth, creamy. And you see how that looks so nice? Oh my goodness, just barely any speckles. So this is looking delightful. I have not made any more. I've been busy with other projects and getting my soaps, all my equipment washed. I haven't decided what I shall do if I shall do it. Yes, everything looks delightful. I'm not seeing any weird discoloration or migration or anything. Just looks great. I'll show you this top in a second. I have just the tiniest bit of ash. That's a natural reaction. Again, it's a temperature thing most of the time. I don't get a whole lot, but it is only like 59 in here. It is not a warm space, so. But the top is just so pretty. How that whisk made the little whatever, just design. So then I'll take this one and cut my samples. I do cut a little piece off the end because I like nice edges. And it's best to do this now before I clean it up for the next batch. Okay, so I have my bar cutter now, and this is from Haffner. And I cut my bars at 1 inch. So we're just gonna slice a little sample off the end here. Oh, very good. Oh, it's just incredibly smooth and creamy. I don't typically plane these bars. I will bevel them to avoid the really sharp edges because, not really sharp, but very distinct edges on a very hard soap. So I do go ahead and I will bevel them, but I don't plane them because tallow soaps tend to just be super smooth for me. So that's always nice. Little bonus there that I don't have to do all that extra. I feel like on a lot of colored soaps where they have some air bubbles and stuff, they tend to be, my regular recipe does tend to be a little bit bumpy, so I do really prefer to plane those. Not going to clean off the wires because it doesn't really matter on a batch like this. I will be, as I have said, beveling all the edges, and there's nothing for the pieces to get stuck in. This is starting to get a little bit hard. I wouldn't want to mess up my cutter. So don't dilly-daddle with the tallow soaps. Typically, as much as I dilly-daddle with my other ones, I'll let them sit for a while if I just don't have the space or the time to deal with them. I'm not doing any samplers for the tallow ones, so I am just going to cut the bars as per usual. I get 17 bars a loaf. All good, nothing's changed here. Oops, guess we'll go here. And so next I need to go ahead and get these lined up on a tray so that I can get them on the curing shelf and out of my way. So I just have an aluminum tray here. It's like a full sheet tray. And then I do have another plastic one on top. And then I have some parchment paper. I don't love putting my soap even with a piece of parchment paper directly on the aluminum because sodium hydroxide does react with aluminum and I just don't like it. So I had started with the plastic trays with my new curing rack, but they're just not sturdy enough. So I did go ahead and buy the aluminum. I mean, this has been a few years ago. I'm just telling the story. So I actually have both and I really, really like it that way. I am very inclined to do them appropriately, starting with the furthest bar all the way back instead of doing a chunk and coming this way and then grabbing a chunk, but it doesn't matter. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Sometimes it'll make a cute picture if all your loaves are lined up right, and they'll make a nice little, can you see me up here? Anyway, they'll make a nice design to take a picture of or something, but I'm certainly not concerned about that. This parchment is not exactly the right size. I don't mind if it sits on the clean plastic just a smidgen, but I usually don't have to worry about that. I need to buy some more of those full sheets because I do just like being able to pull a full sheet of parchment paper out of its little box and right onto the trays, and it fits just right, and I don't know why I have delayed for so long. I get to a point where I buy so many supplies I just don't want to spend money anymore. Like, I need to go buy boxes. I'm like looking at there, I'm like, you know what, I have to do it. There's no sense in being stressed later because I didn't just go ahead and buy the danged boxes. Silliness. Yeah, see, this is plenty of room, so I shall move these forward so it's not sitting on the plastic on the other side directly. So cold process soap does have to cure. It needs time to evaporate the excess water, and it also needs time to develop a crystalline structure. So it is best to let it set for 4 to 6 weeks at minimum, but 8 weeks on is typically your golden zone for cold processed soaps. I tell you what, soap making teaches you patience, because there used to be a time when I first started, you know, you're so excited about it, and it's just so hard just to leave them sitting there. And you want to make more soap, but you really shouldn't, because you haven't even tried your recipe yet, you know, so as new soap maker. And so you build up quite a lot. It's really good to experiment with a bunch of different things to see what you like there at the beginning, so then when they are all nice and cured, you can go ahead and see what you like the best, because we all like a soap recipe a little bit different, and we like different levels of super fats, and people have different water, and different water will cause soap to perform differently as well. So there's a lot to consider. My first batches, one was a recipe from the Ponte Vedra Soap Company, and it was, which is so funny because I used to live in Ponte Vedra. Anyway, it was a shea and cocoa butter recipe, unscented. My original batches were all unscented. And it was, I don't know, I don't remember using it. I don't remember the joy, the non-joy. I don't remember a thing about it. But I made that one, and then the second one I made was a goat milk and oatmeal and honey unscented soap. That was quite the lofty goal, to do something like that with honey in it. I remember that one of my husband's good friends was our neighbor at the time, and he tried some. He loved, what was it? A clove one of some sort. That was one of his favorite that I had done at the beginning, smell wise. I didn't really share a lot because you got to be careful about that. You got to know what you're doing before you start gifting and selling. So here we have this delightful tray of soap, and I'm going to throw this on the curing rack, and I'm going to clean up, and I'll come back for the next one. All right, are we ready for this? I've been very, very excited. Very excited. Here's hoping. So you can see I do still have some shallow spots. It still has the design, but it didn't push in a lot. So we have right here, a small one there, and then a section here. And I was really squashing it down and massaging it and everything. So it just is what it is sometimes. It did that the last time too. I probably should store this flat. I'm thinking that would assist in the matter, because I think it kind of has just a little bit of bumpiness to itself. Ooh, it's so good. You see how it kind of just went creamy. All right. Oh, I didn't do this one. Here we go. I'm very excited. Everything's looking great. Sometimes I can see some speckles, or if it overheated. That'll be the main thing we're gonna look for, is if it overheated. I just love the smell of unscented soap. It is so good. This is creamy. Oh, love it. All right, now this one, since it's my bigger mold, I do have the space to cut some nice slices off each side. So that should be fine. Everybody can see. Let's go. It's looking very good, very, very good. I don't normally add the honey after it's warmed into the warm like yogurt milks, but I think that really worked out nicely. Gave it a little extra dispersal before it went into the oils. There's a little bit of a heat scenario going on here. Now it does have the ring, the partial gel ring. In my experience, my unscented soaps kind of do that, but then it doesn't really matter in the long run. I don't really see it, but that's interesting. I thought that I was seeing some overheating. Just a little bit. Kind of hard to avoid when you put milk and all the things. I'm not a throw it in the freezer type. I just rather it go through the gel fully. Like in this case, it looks like it might not have gotten gelled all the way to the edges, but we'll just have to see what it looks like overall when we cut it. Oh my gosh, it's just so cute. I can see right here, and I hope you guys can see, it is such a dark day here. There's a little swirlage right there. That's some overheating going on. But look at the top. It's so pretty. Love. So I get 4 loaves out of this mold. And I do like this design better than a bubble wrap design. The bubble wrap always has the air in, and so they get all wrinkly. In the each little bubble is wrinkly, and I just prefer this. I'll try to figure out where I bought it from and put it in the video description. I certainly do not remember. So this one's a pretty chunky one. So that's gonna be fun. Now, sometimes my unscented soap is a little bit discolored just as the air gets to it. That is something that I've noticed quite a bit. Almost like how a vanillin fragrance will discolor, and there's no fragrance, but it does kind of the same thing. So now I can stack these two together. There's no honey spots, so that was my biggest concern. I'm not too concerned about any partial gel rings or what have you. But I know that almost every single time I cut a batch of unscented soap, I'm like, oh dear, I have partial gel rings, and then I never have partial gel rings. So I'm gonna go with that for now. All right, so excited. Love, love, love. Okay, so I'm gonna go right on that mark on this one. It's definitely a harder soap. Yeah, see, it has just what I will consider, I mean, it's just very interesting how it does look like a partial gel, how it has done its thing. Look, see how it kind of comes down and does like an oval turn over there. So we'll see. But as far as the bars go, right now the top just has like this darker layer for these middle bars. Now, let's see. That one's just pretty much all the same color. It's really hard to see it. Actually, like this one does have the whoop. So we'll see. If that truly happened, then I think it must have gotten pretty cold in here. Because that doesn't feel right either. Is it right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It must have gotten pretty cold in here if that happened. Because it is a wood mold. It had the milk. It had the honey. There's, oh, I do need to clean it off this time. And there's no reason why it wouldn't have pushed all the way through. It was technically covered. Ugh, I love the top of this bar here on the end. I love making soap. I love it so much. I'm like, let's gear up. Let's make another batch of something. But unfortunately, I do have some other things I need to do as well. I can see a little bit of overheating swirls. It's just like some excess glycerin. It's not even excess, but it's some glycerin kind of swirled, but it's no big deal. All right, so we're on to the last loaf. So this is going to stay in stock hopefully for a little while. The unscented tallow ones do tend to be fairly popular, so we'll do that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you can see that line just a little bit. It's very faint. It'll be interesting to see what happens during the cure. Again, I don't really think it's going to stay, but you never can tell about making soap. Past experiences sometimes don't even matter. Alright, so there you have it. We made 2 tallow soaps, the Wild Mint and the Honey Cream Unscented. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a like and a hype and leave me a comment. I love chatting with you. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you around and hang out with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye. Oh hey, I'm back. I wanted to show you that I did make a couple more tallow soaps. So this first one here is a grapefruit. It does have a little bit of lemon in it. Smells absolutely incredible. I made it with pink clay, rose pink clay, and also some ultramarine pink. And it just turned out this pale kind of, I don't know, I feel like grapefruit. It's a good grapefruit-esque color. Oh, it just turned out so lovely. A great color for grapefruit is what I'm trying to say. Not necessarily saying that it is a grapefruit color. But I thought I would just cut a bit of each to show you. So now I am really wishing that I'd done a sampler, but I'm thinking about putting together a special set for these tallow soaps anyway. I have some serious tallow soap lovers, and it just turned out so incredible. I'm thrilled with this one. Oh my gosh, it smells absolutely amazing. And then I made lavender lemon. Oh, isn't it just beautiful? So it is colored with ultramarines and yellow oxide. Smells beyond incredible. So juicy and amazing at the moment, though that lavender is there as well. I can't get over it. It smells just so good. So let's cut one of these, see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's great. Look how pretty it is. Now I have made this soap design before, but it was in a non-tallow soap. Isn't it just so nice? I can stay here all day just sniffing it. So yeah, that's my little update. I did make a couple more tallow soaps. I think it's going to be an incredible little tallow release. We have the honey cream, we have the wild mint, we have the grapefruit, and then this lavender lemon. You can find links down below this video in the description box to my website, moriversoap.com, my social media. There's just lots of information down there, so I do hope that you'll check it out. Please give this video a like and a hype and subscribe if you have not already. And thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.